friends, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be practicing our silent E words, or our CVCe words. These words have 4 letters but only 3 sounds, and they always have a long vowel sound. So what we're going to be doing with that today is we're going to be playing a little game of mystery word. How this works is I'm going to describe something and I want you to try to guess the word that I'm thinking of. Then we're going to spell that word together. So the first word that I'm thinking of describes a place that's dark. You might find it in the side of a mountain. This word has a long A sound, and sometimes it's where you might find a bear living. Do you think you know my word? That's right, my word is cave. Cave. A cave is a dark place that might be in the side of a mountain. It has a long A sound, and we might find a bear living there. So friends, let's sound out the word cave. What is the first sound you hear in cave? Good, the first sound is k. And what letter says k? That's right, C says k. So I'll start by writing a C. What's the next sound you hear in cave? Excellent, the next sound is A. Cave. Cave. So I'm going to write a letter A in my next blank since A obviously says A. What's the third sound you hear in the word cave? Good, the third sound is V. And what letter says V? Good, V says V. So next I'm going to write a V. Now I don't hear any more sounds in our word. We have K, A, V. 3 sounds and we have 3 letters. But what are we missing, friends? What always comes at the end of a silent E word? The silent E, of course. So we're going to add our silent E to the end. And now we have the word cave. Let's read this word together. Cave. Nice job. Let's try another one. So the next word that I'm thinking of is something you would do into a pool. You might jump off of a board to do this. And it's kind of scary. It doesn't always look like the safest thing in the world. So if you're going to do this, you're going to want to be very careful. This word has a long I sound in it. Do you know what my word is? Good. My word is dive. Dive. I might dive into a pool. It has a long I sound. So friends, what is the first sound you hear in the word dive? Very good. Our first sound is D. And what letter says D? Of course, D says D. So the first letter in dive is D. What's the next sound you hear in dive? That's right. Our next sound is I. It's going to be our long vowel sound. So I'm going to write an I in the middle of our word there. What's the last sound you hear in dive? Good, the last sound is V, just like in the word cave. So what letter still says V? V does. Very good. So I'll put a V. That's all of my sounds that I hear, but I still need to add another letter. What letter do I need to add at the end of this word to make my I long and strong? That's right, I need to add silent E. So now that I've put an E at the end of my word, I have the word dive. Let's spell this word together. D-I-V-E. And now let's sound it out. D-I-V, dive. Great job, friends. Do you like our game so far? So the next word that I am thinking of is a word you might use to describe something that looks really nice, like a puppy or a kitten, something that is just adorable. This word has a long U sound, and this word is usually associated with stuffed animals or baby animals or even just babies. Do you know what my secret word is? That's right, my secret word is cute. There is nothing cuter than puppies and kittens and babies and stuffed animals. So our word here is cute. What is the first sound you hear in cute? Very good. The first sound is k. What letter says k? That's right. C says k. So we'll put a C at the beginning of our word. What is the next sound you hear in cute? Awesome. Our next sound is U, right? Cute. U. Obviously, U is saying its name here, so we can add that letter in as well. And what is the last sound you hear in cute? Good. Our last sound is T. What letter says T? Good. T says T. So I'll add a T in. Well, that's all my sounds, but what does my word say right now? Does it say cute? No, right now my word says cut, right? Without that silent E, this has a short vowel sound. U's short sound would be a. So our word here would be cut. That's not the word we're spelling, so we need to add a silent E at the end of our word. Because when silent E comes along, it makes our vowel long and strong and say its name. So now you can say you, and our new word here is cute. Wonderful job. Let's do a few more. So the next mystery word I am thinking of is something you might build outside if you were going to cook some food. You might also put this outside if you wanted to just hang around with your friends. This can also be something that's very dangerous. So sometimes this can happen to buildings when people aren't careful. You see it on top of candles, or you see it in a certain place in your house. This word has a long I sound in it. Do you know what my secret word is? Good. My secret word is fire, right? A fire is something that you can cook food over outside. It's something you can hang around with your friends if you're sitting around a campfire. You might have one in a fireplace in your house, but it can also be very dangerous. If people aren't careful, actual buildings can catch on fire, and that's not good at all. But our word fire does have a long I sound, so let's go ahead and get that spelled. What is the first sound you hear in fire? Good, the first sound is F. And what letter says F? F says F. Good job. So the first letter in our word is F. What's the next sound you hear in fire? Good, our next sound is I. Fire. I. Since I is saying its name, we'll go ahead and add it in there. And what is the last sound we hear in fire? Good, our last sound is right? Fire. We know that R says so we'll go ahead and add in an R. And what other letter do we need, friends? Remember, silent E words have 4 letters, so what do we need to add at the end here? Silent E. Very good. So now that I've added my silent E, I have the word fire. F-I-R-E, fire. Great job. Let's do a couple more. So the next mystery word that I am thinking of, let's see here. I want to make this one a little bit trickier because you guys are doing such a great job. All right, the next word that I am thinking of. So our next word is something you would use if you were describing what somebody had said. You see these in writing, they look like this. And this word actually has 5 letters instead of 4. This word has a long O sound. Do you know what my secret word is? Yes, my secret word is quote. Everybody say the word quote. Good job. So as we go to spell the word quote, I want you to be thinking, how could this word possibly have 5 letters when we know that it's a silent E word? Let's see. What is the first sound you hear in quote? Very good. Our first sound is qu. And what letter says qu? That's right. Q says qu. So the first thing we need to write is a Q. But hang on a second. I remember something about the letter Q. Q always has a buddy letter, doesn't it? It's never just by itself. Can you tell me what Q's buddy letter is? What letter do we always see with Q? Yes, we always see U. So when we have a Q, we also need U. That's going to be our extra 5th letter there, friends. That's how we ended up with 5 letters instead of 4. So now we have qu, and we need to go to our next sound. What is the next sound you hear in quote? Good, our next sound is O, quote. So I'm going to write down an O since it's saying its name. And what is the last sound you hear in quote? Good, the last sound is T. We know that T says T, so we'll add a T. But what letter do we need to add to the end to make this a proper silent E word so our O can say its name? That's right, we need to add an E. So there are our 5 letters in this word. Q and U, remember, work together to make that one sound. So our word here is quote. It is spelled Q-U-O-T-E, quote, quote. Fantastic work on that, friends. Let's move over to Seesaw so I can explain what you're working on today. So for your Seesaw activity today, you're going to be matching the picture to the sentence. So all you're going to have to do is read each of these sentences, and then in the box next to it, you're going to put the picture that matches. Make sure you sound out each sentence carefully, and if you don't know a word, remember to use those skills about what we know about CVCe and silent E words to help sound them out. Once you know what the sentence says, find the picture that describes what's happening in the sentence, click it, and drag it into the box next to that sentence. Your code word today is quote, Q-U-O-T-E. So you're going to use your text tool or your drawing tool to put that word in the code word box, and then you are all finished. Great work on that today, friends. Rock on, my superstars, and I'll see y'all next time.